Kamal-Tar. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Government House Leader.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. In recognizing that C-20 is a piece of legislation that really does make a difference, we're taking a look in terms of the RCMP and ensuring that there's an independent commission that's there to reinforce public confidence in our RCMP when you get bad apples, but it also extends out to now Canada Border Control. Again, a vast majority, whether they're RCMP officers or Border Control, do a fantastic job 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, for Canadians, but we need to recognize that there are bad apples, and within that grouping, there is a need for this legislation and the Independent Commission. And if I can get the members' thoughts on that aspect in terms of the importance of enforcing public confidence in our institutions.
The Honourable Member for Flamborough-Glenbrook.
Thank you to the Honourable Member for Winnipeg North for the promotional message on behalf of Bill C-20 and the apparent work of his government. We of course support Bill C-20 for some of the reasons that he outlined and other reasons that we've articulated in our interventions on this piece of legislation. What they still haven't talked about, and the question was asked in question period today, but not answered, is there is that 92% increase in gang-related homicides. That's an alarming statistic. That is of concern to people in my community and in communities all across Canada. That is causing women, children, people in every community to be concerned for their safety. And there is no answers from the government on this, and we've seen that trend because of their soft on crime policy. Thank you.
Comments? The Honourable Member for Windsor West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I've been listening to this debate, and I want to have a comment with regards to the member of our Winnipeg North who's intervened several times to talk about bad apples in our basically our border officers. And I find exception to that, being one who serves on the border, the stress, the anxiety, the way that they were treated during the pandemic, where there was no plan to even actually vaccinate our CBSA officers, and it was left for border crossing per border crossing. They've had a high degree of problems related to collective agreements that were never signed on time or never negotiated in good faith from this government. And I find it quite frankly offensive for these men and women who are on the front line every single day under incredible stress and pressure that the member for Winnipeg North is continually obsessed with pointing out that there's some so-called bad apples.
Honourable Member for Flamborough-Glanbrook, 30 seconds or less.
Thank you for the comment from the member from Windsor West, who is in a bordering community, a very important border, where a large percentage of the Canadian-U.S. trade crosses each day. So he knows, the Honourable Member for Windsor West knows full well the impact that the CBS officers and what they're dealing with every day, and we agree. We need to have fluidity and resiliency of our supply chains, and so he raises some good points that the government should consider a committee in reflection of this piece of legislation.
Resuming debate.